last summer, it's right around a year from today, and I was deadlifting in a parking lot where the pavement wasn't even. I felt a pop, and ever since then, I had incredible pain. Right after that, I was really afraid. I mean, there were times when I would just be walking and my back would lock up so bad I'd have to lay on the ground. I'd be crying. I'd be like in the middle of wherever. It was horrible, embarrassing. People didn't understand it, obviously. I went to an urgent care and they had done x-rays, referred me out to PT. The first PT I went to essentially told me, well, then just stop doing those movements. Obviously incredibly frustrated. Like, fitness is so important to me. I can't simply stop doing it. And so I went to him a couple of times and switched over to a different physical therapist that was supposed to focus specifically on back injuries. Basically their philosophy was that I had weak and tight glutes and hips. And so focused a lot on stretching, did a ton of dry needling, massage. I was really never the same. I mean, I could only deadlift to a certain threshold weight that I should have been able to push past. I couldn't. It seemed to not improve at all. Went skiing early January, and after that, I was in incredible pain. I went from manageable back pain that was frustrating to my hip collapsing anytime I tried to do anything with weight, anytime I tried to bending over to put on my shoes, I couldn't. I would have to sit on the bed and my boyfriend would literally have to dress me. I couldn't pull on my pants, couldn't tie my shoes, put on socks, none of that. There were nights that I wasn't sleeping because I was in pain and I was also upset. I was terrified that I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff again. And one day I just happened to be scrolling through my Explore page on Instagram. I think one of your taglines said low back injury causing sciatica or something like that. And I clicked it. And what you were describing was I believed exactly what happened to me. So after finding your page, that night I spent hours going through your page, and I was I really think that this guy knows what's wrong with me. And I put in for the consultation and we talked a few days later, and obviously the rest is history. I went from a horrible time mentally, not being able to do anything except pull-ups and push-ups and shoulders because I couldn't do anything with this bottom half of my body. I couldn't bend over. And then, a lot of faith. And I was able to deadlift 205 hill with absolutely no pain for an actual workout last week. And that was after a day of heavy clean and jerks, which was after a day of heavy squatting. It's literally a 180. It feels like I was working out last summer before my injury. I just feel normal, which is awesome. I was really afraid that if I didn't get my back in order and as such my mental health in order, that I would essentially fail out of life. And I was nervous that my first week, even being exhausted from working more and still trying to work out and everything, I was going to go backwards, and I didn't. And I'm managing everything completely fine. And I'm so relieved by that. Yeah. I'm really glad I stumbled across your Instagram.